Hello, Randy Rain here, and I'm back with another TOMY product. This one's called Shoot Out in Space. This one actually has a date on here. It says 1979, and it costs $22.97. That's around 80 bucks today. Yeah, this is why I didn't have these games when I was a kid. That's too much for me. I just now can afford them. But it's basically like an old style laser tag type of thing, except instead of shooting an infrared, it just shoots a light out. And you have a sensor here, and as you shoot the sensor, it pops the little rockets off as so. It's pretty neat. Let's see how it works, because this one does work, but man, this box smells to high heaven like mold and mildew. This is going outside. This is getting washed. Let's get to it. One thing I'm going to do is wash them down with Windex just as I'm taking them apart, because even after you touch them, you can smell it on your hands. I don't know, it just feels like they're covered in mold spores or something. I'm going to clean them again once they're all apart, but I still want this to be clean as I'm taking it apart, because it is pretty stinky. Yep, I'm not going to give a crap about these stickers either. This piece comes off. Okay, at least I'm not grossed out with it now, so that helps. Alright, so let's look how this works. This is the piece that cocks the gun. It sets in somewhere, it goes like this. Sets in like that. As you cock the gun back, this piece right here gets locked into place. So this piece can't be let go and pulled forward, because it is on a spring. This is the spring for it. It gets hooked up to here. So when you push the trigger down, you're pushing an arm that's going to release that, like that. Great. And then it shoots across the room. And then this releases and does that. So that allows for a brief second of light to pass through right there. So if we look down in here and pop this off, but you can see how this drops down and allows the light bulb, which is here, to be shown through this little magnifying glass, which then shoots the light down the barrel towards the receptor. So I'm going to try to take all this apart some more and give it a good thorough washing. Take the battery part off here. Unscrew this. The one screw that's different. And then this piece, I'm pretty sure, just pulls out. Has the little spring-loaded clip in here. Copper rod. But now let me clean this up and get back. While I have it apart, just to make sure, I want to give everything a little sanding, all the metal pieces here, so that they make good contact. Okay, see about getting this piece back together. This little spring sits here. Goes on the other side like that. This little plastic lens, it's not glass, it's actually plastic. It goes into there. These wires seem like they're about to break, so I'm going to resolder them down. Now I have the mold mildew smell being burnt. Ugh. Alright, now this piece, so I remember how this went back in. I know that piece was in there that. And then this piece was like this, I think. So now this piece can go back on. Like this. Yes. I think that's how it went, because this went on like this. Like that. This piece is in there. Let's go out to there, and then this will dislodge that, shoot forward, and that does that. Alright, that's how that goes back together. Take this off for now though. Put in the bulb where you can adjust it. It just snaps in there. Now, there's still this little brass piece that was right here. I think it goes just like that. That's what that little brass piece is for. So I now should be able to close it up. I'm just going to hold it closed and test it. Oh wow, it works even better. It was just going back real slow. Now it actually has a click to it. Alright, well, it looks better, smells better, works better. Can't ask for more than that. Alright, so let's look at the base. This piece comes off. I've already given it a nice cleaning, so it's good to go. Down to this thing. Turn it upside down. 2 double A's. Let's see, looks like 6 screws. Aha, you gotta separate it a little bit. Here's the gearbox. Yeah, see, I lift it up. And it ran down completely. Alright, well, let's see what's underneath here. See how well the gears look inside. They look all good. They're all pretty big. No little tiny gears. Nothing to split. I'm sure underneath here, below it, is just a coil of wire that I am not even going to attempt to have a look at. Okay, let's move over to this section here. I'm guessing a solenoid. Like probably the same one that's used in Digital Derby, and Hit and Missile has one as well. Yep. One little solenoid right there. So here's inside the sensor. I'm not sure what kind of sensor that is. I'm guessing it's just probably a photoresistor, I would guess. There's only 2 wires going to it. I don't think it's anything fancy, it's just a little photoresistor in there with a little plastic lens on there. So here's what's happening is there's a little spring right here that the main plate holds down. It's holding this spring down so it can pop up like that. And as it's setting like this, the plate is on top, and as soon as the sensor goes, yeah, so you have some, looks like transistors, resistors, and some capacitors. So basically all that little circuit does is detect the light coming in on the photoresistor, I'm just going to call it. And when it does, it then turns on a transistor. This is like this. We'll pull that solenoid so it pops open. The gears will turn. It'll allow the next thing to turn. It will then push this thing back down and relock it again. Then once again, as soon as the light hits, this pops up, the thing spins, and it will push it back down. And that's pretty much it in there. To get tighter here on the mechanism, you have a solenoid here. The solenoid activator is connected to this little piece of plastic. And that's what the solenoid will do, is pull it back. It has a spring to pull it back into place. That little lip there is what's holding this piece down, right here. This is what makes the rockets pop up. So as it's spring loaded here. And so pop, like so. There's this little piece right here. What that does is stop the spinning turntable to stop at the right spot. You can see they have these little pieces here. Those little pieces come and stop to here. And then when this is activated and this pops up to knock the rocket off, it allows this thing to spin, finally turn, like so. And then as it passes by, the other part of the tray, or the little turntable, starts pushing on this and pops it back down and locks it in place for the next turn. For this, I'm not going to take all of it apart to scrub it down. I'm just going to use some Windex and just kind of wipe it down. I am going to sand down this little terminal here. That was one problem that I was having earlier, is to get it just right so it would turn on. I can't really bend this switch down to make it really push down onto this terminal here. So I'm just going to put some solder on it, tin it a little bit, make it a little higher. I am going to take these decals off using a hair dryer because I do want to clean this part and this part. There's one. Space station. Be thankful there's no such thing as smell-o-vision, or you would smell this heating up mold mildew smell. Okay, so let's put this back together. I'm pretty sure this needs to be wind up quite a bit. So here's a secret. I had it all together and this is not tight enough. So make sure this thing is plenty tight. And you lift up on it to get past that pin. Or I guess you can just take the pin out. Take the pin out, give it a good spin, and really tight to get to there. When putting this piece on, make sure you grab a hold of the little spring and push it down so that will pop up. But this needs to be turned to there. Like that. See, this goes on. Gotta make sure this switch gets through like that. Okay, time to put the decals back on there. Alright, these little rockets still stink and they're hollow, and when you push on them, the little air vent up here, you can get that smell. So I'm just taking the stickers off of these things and just going to scrub them and get some water in there and soapy water inside there and just really try to get this smell out. Doesn't seem to take much on this, on these stickers, on this plastic. It's a very soft plastic. Stickers probably don't want to stick to it anyway. You can try it without any heat and they just pop right off. Well, that was really easy. I'm not going to put them back on though. One, they stink. Two, I don't really care for stickers. And three, these really don't impress me all that much. And I think they look fine without it. So I am going to keep them though. I'll put them back in the stinky box along with the original stinky parts. So when you get good, it comes with this thing. It's just a little plastic piece that has 2 different size holes on it. You can put it like this so that it covers up part of the sensor, or you can flip it around and put it on the really small part and make it really harder. And lastly, before you play, you get this little thing. This is calibration thing. You put this in there like this, and you push the trigger, and it will only go so far. And then when you hold this down, the light will come on. It'll allow the light to stay on when you hold the trigger down with that piece in there. So if I stand back and I point this at the wall, you can see the little dot, and I can adjust this, the light bulb, until I get it to a good solid beam of light that I like. That looks pretty good. You can take that out, and now you're just going to get the flash. So let's see it in action. You first turn it all the way, turn it on back here, place your rockets in here, and then you take the gun. The farther you stand back, the easier it is because the beam of light gets bigger. It's actually harder close up because the focus of the light is even smaller. Well, that was pretty easy. Let's add the skill shot. Missed one. Missed one. Missed one. Missed one. Come on. Ah, can't get it. Yeah, that's hard. Well, there it is. Shootout in space! Another fun game from TOMY that you have to admire their engineering skills. This was created in 1978. You can't beat that. That's pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a little like. If you want to see more like this, hit the subscribe button because I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So, enjoy. I got some more rockets to shoot.